Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our living room. Welcome, Richard Pearson Thomas.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Even though it's through the TV, but
Yeah, that's how everything is
I
these
know.
days.
Well, we're getting ready for a snowstorm here in New York.
I do know that.
But where you are in Montana, you just told us it's pretty mild.
It is. Yeah, the weather here fluctuates. I mean, we had a month ago we had a record snowstorm, 2 feet of snow, and then the wind comes down out off the mountains and it all melts. So it sort of goes back and forth.
At least you have water. Good.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we're right above the Missouri River here. Good to
Right.
look at.
Yes. So Richard is in a beautiful part of the United States right now. He's in Montana. And how have you been spending your days?
Well, I've been writing a lot because I had like 7 commissions, one after the other, which I'm
Awesome.
very thankful for. Um, and then I have my own projects that I'm always sort of doodling around on. So it's been productive. I
That's
do
great.
miss I do miss playing and performing and collaborating. Um, I haven't been playing the piano like I should because I'm so accustomed to preparing for performances.
Right.
You're learning things and when you don't have that, at this stage of the game, it's harder to be just to play.
Well, we totally agree, right?
Yeah,
We like to have a goal.
but
Yes.
yeah, spending a lot of time in the studio,
Yeah,
You
well,
want
me
to?
too.
It's nice. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, me too. I was like, I'm spending a lot of time looking at my computer, like we are right now.
Exactly.
And then,
Yeah.
is that going to be skiing in Montana this winter, or are they opening?
There is. They're arranging socially distant skiing, which is fine when you're coming down the mountain, but it's getting up to the on the chairlift.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
how they're doing
chairlift,
it.
it's you wide in the open air. I will think is should be
Right,
okay.
and I don't know what they're doing, but yes.
Yes.
But
Okay.
the lodges are going to be closed, I think.
Uh,
Which is a big way they make their money, but it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Certainly hope. Great. Well, we're glad we have the tea lights behind us to keep us warm. I
Yeah.
have this nice scarf made by my friend Rob. I'm enjoying this warm. And we're wondering, did you want to start off with the piece to play for us?
Yeah, today is Beethoven's birthday. So
That's
for those
right.
who don't know, um, 250 years ago, we think, we're going to say, and I actually remember the 200th birthday 50 years ago when I was
Don't
a mere
stop
child.
that.
I know. But it was a big deal. And because Beethoven was a huge, like probably of all the composers, the biggest influence on me, especially when I was young.
Oh, nice.
The very first album I bought, Bruno Walter conducting New York Philharmonic, Fourth and Fifth Symphony. And I studied German because of Beethoven, and my chosen name in class was Ludwig.
Great.
And then ironically, I scored high on some national German test, so I got a prize, and the prize was a book about Beethoven in
There's-
German.
They
So
vibed it out.
It was
Very
all meant
psychic.
to be. It was meant
Well,
to be.
there was just an article in the New York Times about a dancer who ended up becoming kind of an impresario who actually was instrumental in getting the debut of the Ninth Symphony performed live. First
Wow.
time. It was fascinating. And I was like, oh, nothing's changed in, what was it,
Right.
200 We're still struggling. We still depend on, who you know, what you.
Well, no,
Talent is like that part of it.
a name like Beethoven is like a mountain, right? It's just this so monumental. But even as I was looking at the sonatas again, it's the details. Like it's just this accumulation of details that add up to this great body of work. And even this morning, I was driving back from the grocery store, and they were playing the Seventh Symphony. performance from Chicago Symphony, and it still gave me goosebumps. You know, like even though I've heard this piece dozens and dozens of times, when I got to the ending and there was this E pedal and in the basses and they're sawing away, and it's the same pitch that the whole symphony started with. There's just this ineffable thing that happened. It's inspiring, certainly inspiring to me as a composer. So I'm thankful to Mr. Ludwig giving me his name in German class.
And we're thankful that you have that connection with him, and you're going to share some of his music with us now, right?
So I decided, since I'm really out of shape, I'm just going to play the first movement of the Moonlight Sonata. And even just returning to this, it's like, it's so wondrous. Like this piece starts in the key of C sharp minor. By the 12th bar, we're playing a C major chord. So how does this guy get to that so seamlessly? That's the genius of the composer. So take a listen.
All right, fabulous. Gorgeous. Thank you. So moving. Wow.
So beautiful.
Oh.
And then, of course, then it gets many more notes and much faster. And I'm not playing that part. So.
It just makes you realize what the contribution Beethoven made, not only in his work, but in how he inspired other artists and how important that is.
Oh, and that's, that's immeasurable. The influence ultimately. Also, evidently, as a pianist, because there's a whole school of piano teaching, of which I ended up being a part, that came from Beethoven through Schnabel and these people over the years. So, the influence was great. Yeah.
Really a great.
So maybe we could show a little bit of Richard's surroundings.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, you want to explain this photo?
Is this the animal?
Yes, Richard texted this photo
Okay.
to a group of us who we have Zoom calls to check in with each other. And I was sure it was photoshopped. So first we see
A buck.
and then a little fawn with some wild turkeys. And this is the view out of your window, correct?
This is my bedroom window. Well, I have it's on the corner, so I can see directions. This is looking east.
Okay, and then another buck. And then there's a raccoon. I'm sure that raccoon was photoshopped in there, but you said no.
No. And what you can see is there are a couple of pheasant right off the frame. Everybody was out that day.
Oh, that's so beautiful. What a wonderful view to have outside your bedroom window.
It was really a magical moment because that was after the first big snowstorm and it was very cold. And then finally the sun came out. It was around sunset and everybody came out. It was like, okay, storm's over. We're coming out.
And now we have the view of the river at sunset.
Yeah.
So you want to tell us a little bit about that river?
That's the Missouri River, which here is almost a reservoir because there are 5 dams along the Great Falls of the Missouri. So the water's backed up a little. But historically, like when I look out the window here, I can see something called White Bear Island. And I don't know if that's in the photo.
I see an island there. Yeah.
It would be that island. The island that you can see is only since 1960. There was a flood. For 1964, there was a flood, and a new island was formed. But White Bear Island, when Lewis and Clark came, when they were coming west, they had to portage their boats around the Great Falls of the Missouri, and where they put their boats back in the river is right where I'm looking out. So it's a historical spot. Yeah.
I just saw something on Curiosity Stream last night about 200 years of traveling to Antarctica.
Antarctica exploration. This guy did it. This guy was doing it by himself, solo, no help. But he had a kind of when it was
a kite.
It was like kind of a kite, not a kite,
sail.
but yeah, a sail,
Oh.
some kind of a sail. He was skiing with a sail. And it was really fast. It's so flat. It's completely flat.
Yes. Well, I've just been working on a piece actually inspired by Passacaglia, was the only woman who was on that journey. And I find her quite inspiring because that's a woman who spoke 5 languages. She knew the terrain. She knew where she was going. She guided them with a baby on her back.
Oh, gee.
Yeah,
these explorers are something else, right?
Yeah,
Amazing.
really, really incredible.
Well, let's talk about your music.
Okay.
Your compositions. And I had the pleasure of making a quarantine anthem with Mark and Richard when we were in, I believe it was in May or April or May. And it's called
April, May.
Yep, UFO, and it's on our YouTube channel. And I have to say, it's pretty funny.
Very funny.
And I told everyone that you would tell us the story behind that song.
the story behind the song is almost verbatim of what you sing in, which is it's what my mother saw. She saw a UFO land, and she saw the little creatures get out of it and walk around, and then they all got back in, and it went back up in the air. So it was at a time when there was a lot of activity in this area.
Activity, we'll just call
activity.
it, with air quotes. Okay. Well, like we were saying, with pretty much all of our guests, we always come back to UFO. I don't know what that's about, but UFOs. But yeah, are they there? Are they not there? I mean, there's possibilities abounding that they are there.
I think everybody who's listening needs to go watch your video and really get the full story.
Yeah,
All right, I think that will definitely.
It's on the channel. It's on the channel.
It'll definitely.
And it's called UFO, so it's easy to.
Can't miss it.
If you didn't miss it, the title is UFO.
So, will you play for us one of your compositions?
Yes, I will. I pulled out a piece which I think is appropriate today. I have a piece called the Prairie Sonata. It's 3 movements. This is the 3rd movement, and it is entitled "The Wind from the Crazy Mountains," which the Crazy Mountains are actually a little range. Montana's full of these little ranges. And then all of a sudden you get the Rocky Mountain front, and it's all. But leading up to that, you get these small ranges. And today is a windy day. That wind is coming off the mountains, melting everything, and sometimes it makes you feel like you're going crazy. So that's the feeling that I have endeavored to capture in this. So it's very, very, very not like the Moonlight Sonata. Just saying.
Okay. about that wind, Richard?
Yeah, definitely windy.
You can hear the wind?
Yes.
Yes.
I
And
can
also,
feel it.
I don't know, I felt the being out in the, not starkness so much, but just the rawness of nature. That's what I got from it.
Good. You know, and you know, actually, just tying this back to Ludwig again, you know, structurally, it's not all that dissimilar. There's like a tune, and then another tune, and then you return to the first tune, and I dress it all up, and you don't necessarily know that's what's happening.
Right.
But in terms of that tradition.
No, I just realized I'm sitting between two composers. It's incredible. Feel very lucky.
The composer Sammy.
Yeah, you guys made a composer, Sammy. So Richard, I believe you sent us a video of a portion of one of your some of your chamber music.
Yes, I. This by the Murphree and the artistic advisor, director, Toby Malawista. Her nephew is Dan Barber. The restaurant asked me to write about sustain. So what I finally landed on was at Stone Barns they don't have a. Well, they used to just bring you a list of all the ingredients and. So what I did was I created a cantata, little snippets of quotes about, followed by sections that are menus on. And the excerpt we're going to hear is called Pasture. So it's everything that they actually grow on their farm, their pasture. And it's just a list of plants and animals.
So you
So
did.
it's for,
Sorry.
Sorry?
So you did get to taste all that food, right? You were
yes,
eating every
yes,
night.
we went there several times, and it's quite an amazing. Yes, and the ensemble is soprano, tenor, and usually they just have piano, but I really felt for this texture, so piano trio, violin, cello, along with three singers, and this performance actually is at the Museé des Arts beautiful venue. And the French audience loved it. So
Fabulous. Well, they
Yeah.
love food too, so good
love food, and they love.
Absolutely. Let's take a listen.
Okay, well let's give it in.
rich and lush.
I couldn't hear it, so I was just.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right.
But I'll be sure we will list all the performers and the notes of the recording of this chat, so everyone can see.
Oh, great! Thank you.
Part of that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Well, great, Richard. That's beautiful, and thank you for making our chat so special by being here today.
Welcome. Thanks for inviting me, and thanks for all the hard work you guys do.
Oh, it's fun.
That's it.
It's,
It
you
is
know,
pretty
it's quarantine work.
I get it.
It's COVID work.
Did you
But
know-
you two have been really great about staying creative in this whole. Inspires us too to keep. Thank you.
Keep going. Thank you. Don't give up. Keep making
give up.
music.
Okay.
We must. And on that note, I thought you have one more piece you wanted to share with us.
You know, we're short on time here. I mean, I can, but
Sure.
if you,
Why not? We have a
It's-
few
it's
minutes.
short.
It's not
There we
like
go.
it's not a hard stop, Richard.
it's like we don't have to stop for a commercial.
No, commercial free.
It's free.
I'm actually working on another piece right now that I'm not quite ready to talk about, but this is one of the characters. I'm gonna read you the text and then I'm gonna play the piece because I think you don't want to hear me sing, but it's whatever. So this is a person of a certain age who was worked in Hollywood as a dancer. And every morning he chats with his friends, and there is a tie-in to, we're going to come full circle here. So he says to his friends in this song, each great work is a screenshot of eternity. It's a tiny speck, a hint of immortality. That sunset, that face, that loss, that ache lives again. Each time you look or listen, you're transported back to when the work was done. You are Beethoven. You are Vermeer. You are Judy singing Rainbow. You are every kid in every chorus line. You are immortal momentarily, and that is heaven, sheer ecstasy. And then it's gone, and that's okay. Besides, it's the mundane stuff that matters. The friends, the coffee, the senseless morning chatter, and the work, especially the work, all temporary. Who needs eternity?
great way to
Yeah.
end our chat with you today. Thank you, Richard, for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks
beautiful.
for inviting me.
Thanks, everyone, for watching.
And who's coming tomorrow?
Sorry?
Who's coming tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow we have Dr. Leona Godin, who will be reading from her upcoming book that she's writing. And it's about the history of blindness. And Alabaster Rum, who will be playing some singing and playing some original songs. So we'll have 2 guests tomorrow in one screen. So stay tuned. Tomorrow
Okay.
at 5 EST.
See you tomorrow.
All right. Bye.